telling us you're going to win now. Stop doing it. You know, for once, I would like to see the Jets take the side door in. And it's not boastful like Rex and, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to beat Belichick, we're going to do this. It's not like Aaron Glenn's doing that at all. It's quite the contrary. It's very measured. It's very direct. It's confident. It's matter of fact. It's not over the top. That's not the point. See, you can put it out there that. See, let me take a step back. If I was Aaron Glenn or even Muji, every time I'm in front of a microphone right now, I'm going to talk about how long it's been since we've won here as a franchise. And because Aaron Glenn was a part of it, he can truly use the word we. Hey, I was here in 95. I was here in 96. I saw the turnaround with Bill in 97. I was here at the turnaround in 98 when we were a step away from going to the Super Bowl. Guys, this isn't easy. And we're not going to make excuses, but, to change an entire building's culture, blah, blah, blah. It's going to take a little time because what Aaron Glenn's doing, and it might not take time. That's the interesting thing. I've been on the record, obviously settle the quarterback spot, make a good draft move or two, get a decent free agent or two. Jets are ready to be a wild card team. Who knows? You get a break, maybe a little bit more. But it's not doing them any favors by creating this win now urgency. I don't understand the need to do it. And I know that Aaron's a proud man, and I definitely respect that. I truly do. And more times than not, that would galvanize me. Like when Steve Cohen bought the Mets, he gave you the 3 to 5 year window, right? And kind of adjusted it a little bit since, but that was something that Met fans needed to hear. Met fans were so beaten down with the previous ownership and their cheap ways that, Steve comes rolling in with the checkbook and armed, ready to do some business. Dropping that kind of mantra, I thought that was really good for the Met fan base. He invigorated the fan base at a time when they needed some oxygen and some life pumped into those lungs. Now, the Jets need, and the Jet fans need the oxygen as well, but it could be done differently. It could be done more, and again, it's not a humility thing. I think Aaron's going to be terrific. It's not that I'm turned off by the approach. I'm actually trying to protect him. I'm trying to look out for him. Because I want to play something. Again, not over the top. This was just a couple of days ago. Listen to this, and then I'm going to follow it up with something. Go ahead, Dove.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the forward thinking of this group and what we're going to do as a team. So we're here to win now, and we're looking forward to it.
There you go. We're here to win now. We're looking forward to it. Okay. I like that you raised the bar. You try to elevate the ceiling here. But what happens if you don't win right away? What happens if the quarterback target that you have doesn't work out and it's plan B or whatever it might be, or there's a rash of injuries in training camp, or guys just don't adjust right away to your new style and there's still penalties. Like, that is a soundbite that is going to be regurgitated at some point. Not like throwing it in his face if the Jets are 1-2, but why even do it? Why even do it? I would not do that. Now, I think it's a little different from the Giants' perspective. Not that they're necessarily doing this, but like if I'm Shane and Dable, I'm just going to be as transparent as humanly possible. Hell, we got to win. You get hired to get fired in this league, and we just haven't pumped out enough wins. And I know ownership is running out of patience, as are we. We got to put some wins on the board. We got to start stacking them, and if not, there's going to be major repercussions. That's what the Giants should be saying, because that's honest and that's on the mark. I don't know if I like Aaron Glenn saying this. I don't. 888-808-1019, BT and Sal here on The Fan. And you're going to get a lot of this stuff, guys, because the Combine, which is, for the most part, fairly useless, I don't know the percentage, but I would think that a smallish percentage of actual draft decisions are made exclusively from the Combine. You got the tape from the young men's games over the course of their college career. I think the pro days on their various campuses obviously matter. It's more intimate. Of course, you bring them into the building. You get a chance to check out the personality, and, match up the IQ, throw them on the grease board if they're a quarterback, just talk some shop, talk philosophy, talk football. I think that's where those real decisions are made. So you're going to hear a lot of smoke screens and a lot of boring cliches about quick hips for safeties and corners and processing ability and all this nonsense that really doesn't mean a whole lot. What really means a lot, for me at this point, is messaging, because you haven't taken a meaningful snap yet. And I don't think that Aaron Glenn's doing himself a favor by continuously going to the "we're going to win now" boat. Now, Hop, I got to ask your opinion on something here, buddy, because I think what I'm saying, but you're hearing it, I'm saying it, you're hearing it. I think what I'm saying largely runs counterintuitive to who I am. Like, I generally like this stuff. I generally, I support and I appreciate when there's a projection of confidence and positivity and growth and expectation. But I feel in this situation, for the reasons that I laid out, I feel that it's a little unnecessary. I don't think Aaron Glenn needs to do this.
Well, it's also because the history of this team hasn't been fantastic either. So it's almost more like, don't talk and just do it at this point in time, right? Like, you don't need to sit there and say we have to win now, because, like you said, there's too much pressure. But it also goes back to Woody Johnson too, saying that he's a winner. Everyone's talking about Glenn and he's a winner. Well, it's like, what's he supposed to say?
Well, he could just be fairly benign, and he could do what I said he should do before. I told you what my approach would be. Very simple, guys. Hey, Dove, do me a favor. Dove, I'm Aaron Glenn, okay? I'm probably asking the wrong person to do this, but play the game here, Dovey, since Hop is screening the calls. I'm Glenn. You are Rich Cimini. Who's your favorite Jets reporter? Is it Rich Cimini? We'll go Rich.
Maybe Connor Hughes.
Well, we love Connor. I didn't know if you knew much about Connor. Okay, you are Connor or you are Rich. I am Aaron Glenn. You've got the first question. Go ahead. About big picture stuff for the Jets. Please ask the... yes, Rich, how are you? Connor, what's happening?
Hey, Coach, you told us you want to win now, but you had a Hall of Fame quarterback that you pushed aside. If you want to win now, why are you pushing Rodgers away?
Well, I would push back on the terminology pushing Aaron Rodgers away. I appreciate the question, Rich. It's not a bad one. I'm not saying that it is, but there's probably some more moves to come that might surprise some of you. That might seem counter to winning. But, guys, you have to understand. I'm walking into a situation, and we're here for a reason. And if things were going well before we arrived, guess what? We would have never arrived. They brought us here to change things. They brought us to change a culture. And the way you change a culture is sometimes you have to make very tough decisions with people that you respect and people that maybe you even still think could play football. But there's financial decisions. There's, 2-3 year window decisions that all tie into this. And ultimately, for me to get up here as the first-year head coach of the New York Jets and offer some bold proclamations about, winning this and doing that, I'm about winning. Let me be very clear and very transparent about that. But I've also been in this game for a long time. As a player with the Jets, when we lost a lot early, and it was hard to get through that. I was with Detroit early, and it was hard to push through those tough, dark days for a franchise like this one that hadn't won in a while. It might take a little time, but when we get there, we will eventually get there in a big way. Joe, next. What do you have, Joe? That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Now, maybe that's a little wordy. Maybe Aaron is not going to be quite that verbose or lift up the curtain quite that much. That's what I would do. And it's not being afraid or reluctant to embrace expectations or, set forth a compass of accomplishment. That's why I laid it out, as we were just messing around with that mock exchange there, about how, and again, now I'm me, I'm not Aaron, I'm saying that Aaron is inherently a winner, but he's also inherently somebody who's been around some very tough rebuilds. So I think that's the more prudent approach. I don't want to see this come back and blow up in his face. That's what I don't want to see. And I don't think the New York media is not going. First of all, I do think there's a bit of a misnomer. The New York media is, I don't think, I'm sure there's a few exceptions, but I really believe this. I don't think initially is the operative word, is initially out to get people. I think over time, depending upon maybe personality clashes, I do think that changes. And I think that line of objectivity certainly blurs into more subjectivity, which for journalists is pretty much not supposed to happen. But there's not many journalists anymore, as we know. So I really think that, and it's also not their job to try to lift them up. You know what I mean? You can write the favorable stories and you can talk about the things that Aaron did when he was here, but they're not on the payroll they're not PR people for the Jets. So I do think that he'll be treated very fairly. But guys, it's been 14 years. As much as we'd like to think there's a magic wand and, you start pulling rabbits out of hats, and maybe it is a one-year turnaround. Don't stack the deck even more than you need to. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going nuts about this. That's all I'm saying. 888-808-1019. It's BT and Sal on the Fan. Sal is recovering, sucking down Surfsides as he put out there that picture. And it was the other IHOP. Good to know they didn't do it twice. We're inside of our Town Fair Tire studio. Friends at Town Fair remind you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Adam's down in South Jersey. Adam, what's happening, bud? How you doing today?
Oh, batting lead off now on the fan.
Batting.
Adam from South Jersey. What's up, BT?
I'm good, man. How you doing? How you been?
I'm good, man. Listen, this is interesting talk today, and whenever I call you about something about the Jets, I always try to give you a coach's perspective, right?
Yep.
And I understand what he's doing here, and I don't blame him for doing it. So this team has a culture for a long time of BS and losing and making more mistakes and things and such. I'm sure he has been a film junkie on his new team.
Yep.
I'm sure he's looked at certain things. I'm sure right away, as a confident coach, he says, I can fix this, I can fix that, I can fix that, and if we do this better, we're going to win this game instead of lose this game, et cetera, et cetera. He is setting the bar, BT, and he doesn't care whether the media knows or not. He wants the people in the building to know. I'm not coming here to take a year off. I'm not taking the quarterback change as an excuse. I'm not allowing any of this. You guys are going to come in, work hard, make fewer mistakes, turn the ball over less, fewer penalties, and we are going to win. We are coming in to win this year. He's not saying we're going to go win the Super Bowl, BT. He's telling them, I'm changing your mindset. We are not going to do these things that cost us games anymore. We are going to win, and I like that he's doing it. I don't think that he should sit back and worry about what the media thinks that could blow up in his face.
Yeah.
If he don't believe in what he could do, BT, his players won't believe in what he can do.
Listen, I got to tell you, you're saying a lot of smart things here, Adam, and I think I fundamentally agree with basically everything that you said. The difference, though, is I think, as you just said, as you intimated, and I believe, I don't know that they're necessarily, they still have to make some tough decisions, necessarily ready to win. So, and again, and maybe I'm being a little literal here, I just think you could project that accountability without being so bottom line. Hey, there's no shortcuts. Hey, this is not going to happen overnight. This is not a microwave situation. Illuminate how bad it's been and then cross the bridge to what you think you're going to do. That's the prudent route. That's what I would do. But
I can agree with that, but he's setting a bar, BT. No losing close games, guys. This is basically what he's saying. We're here to win games. Yep. We're here to win.
All right.
And he's not letting it be taken for granted. And you're doing a great job. I hope Sal feels better, BT. And saw you on Facebook with the St. John's game. Beautiful family, bro. Go Patino. Best coach in the game, Patino.
I agree with that. He has been absolutely phenomenal. We'll get to the little Johnny stuff later. A little bit of a nail-biter. Tough spot. Middle of the week, against a team that's not very good. Tough venue. Johnny's were a little bit off defensively last night. They weren't very connected. Defensively, a lot of guys getting to the rim on Butler before they tighten things up, but they won. They won the game, and obviously now you win on Saturday against Seton Hall, and Seton Hall is just really, they've got 7 wins on the year. St. John's will be sole. They will win by themselves. No co-shares. They will be the Big East regular season champs. We'll do a little more hoops later. Knicks as well, though. 888-808-1019. It's BT and Sal. Yep, and Sal is on the mend, which is good. Eric is in Rivervale. Eric, what's cooking?
BT, how are you, brother?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Happy to hear Sal's on the mend, and I'm sure he'll be back at it all better next week. Love the Jets conversation, man, and I agree with you, as I usually do. But in this particular case with the Jets, I really agree in that I have such hope for Aaron Glenn, and I do believe in him. I think he's going to be a great coach, but this is the kind of stuff he can't do. Because we as Jets fans, all we want is just be authentic, be himself. I don't want to hear platitudes. I don't want to hear the Rex Ryan type stuff that, yeah, we're ready to win now. Like, that's a joke. I mean, how do we know that? We don't even know who our
Eric, hold
quarterback
on one
is.
sec, bud.
We
Hold
haven't
on,
heard from-
one second. Let me just jump in for 1 second, throw this at you. I do think he's being his authentic self. Now, Rex, in his bombastic, crazy delivery as well, give him props. He also was being true to who he is. I don't think that Aaron, my problem was Robert Saleh. I never thought that Robert Saleh was truly being who he is, or at least putting that out there for public consumption. I think that Aaron is. I just think it's a mistake to just, circle the word win, and we're ready to win, and we're going to win. There's no need to do that now. You're not winning a snap tomorrow. I mean, just build it out there. Let the building understand that you're here to win by holding them accountable and blasting them, lighting them up if they're not in the weight room or if they're half-assing it during OTAs. That's how you set the standard, not by saying you're going to win.
I completely agree with that. And I guess that's my point, is that authentic in the sense of who they are, right? As a team, as an organization. Like, we don't know that they are built right now to win, because we don't know what their vision is for the team, right? Mm-hmm. We don't know who the quarterback is. Is it Tyrod Taylor? Are they going into the draft? I mean, we're hearing all sorts of rumors on the draft, as it always is. I have no idea if they're looking to move up or not. Maybe they are. But until we hear from Muji and collectively with Glenn what their vision is, It's really hard to believe that this team is built in a way that they could win tomorrow. So, yeah, I feel like he sets himself up, for failure in that sense. But, again, I do believe in Aaron Glenn. I think he is, true to who he is, and that he's going to be a hard ass. He's a disciple. And I love all of that. Yes. I just don't want the team to fail him, and then he looks like a fool.
Well, that's my whole point. I'm trying to protect him because I do believe in him. I think the Jets made the right hire. You know that I wanted Vrabel 1, but very early in the evaluation of who they might hire, even before Vrabel was hired, I never relegated Vrabel to anything other than my top choice. But Aaron Glenn went from like 3 or 4 to 2, quick. It's a matter of record. I was a big proponent of hiring Glenn before they did if they couldn't get Vrabel. Yeah, but again, we don't know who the quarterback is, and I don't think it's going to be Tyrod Taylor, but you never know. Are they going to extend Sauce? Are they going to trade Sauce? Are they going to extend Garrett Wilson? Are they going to trade Garrett Wilson? Is Jermaine Johnson's Achilles healthy to the point where he's got that snap and burst back off the edge? Don't know. Is CJ Mosley, are they going to cut him for cap purposes? Don't know. Likely, but you don't know. Are they going to really tighten up that third level? Do the penalties get cut in half? Do they spruce up the O-line a little bit? Do they find a tight end that can actually, create some mismatches, make some plays? I mean, the Jets have a lot to do. A lot to do. So I just don't want a situation, because I know it. Hey, been around. I'm no dummy. I mean, maybe with certain things, you might think I'm a dummy, but I know how the New York sports game works, both as a fan, because I still am one, both as a listener to WFAN, because I always was one, even long before I got here. I know if the Jets are 1-3 and they don't look sharp, I promise you, you're calling up me and Sal, you're calling up the afternoon show, you're calling up Boomer and Gio. I don't know. This guy was talking a big game, back in February, back when he was hired. Look how sloppy they are. Still a lot of penalties. Not sure. Maybe they didn't get the right guy. So why even risk that? Don't even tell us you're going to win. Just go win. 888-808-1019. BT and Sal on the Fan.